going to have um, Professor Beatriz Tinoco. She is going to be sharing with us about Google Classroom and blended learning. And the main content or the main topic of this first part of the session is about creating a class and adding members in Google Classroom. So thank you, Professor Tinoco, and I think that everybody's ready to work and learn from you, okay? Welcome.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Joel, for those words. Good morning, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. Today's the day of love and friendship, so I really hope you enjoy it. And as Joel mentioned, I'm going to have a very brief participation today, explaining a little bit about how to create a class in Google Classroom and how you add students or you invite students to join the class. But before we go with that, I would like to make some comments about the experience that we had yesterday. I heard very interesting comments. And I wanted to ask you, we of course, we discussed about different types of learning models, the flipped classroom, blended learning, that we saw more into deep with Professor Corina's presentation, and the hybrid classroom, the hybrid learning model. I wanted to ask you, the experience that we had in the year 2020 with the pandemic, where everybody has to stay home, had to stay home and give classes just with a computer. Can we say that we use at that moment any of these three learning models? Who would like to answer that question? I repeat, the experience that we had in the year 2020, where everybody was home, nobody was going to the university, but we did have classes with the students. Can we say that any of these three learning models were applied? Is that what we use, any of this? I would like to hear your comment.
Good morning.
Good morning, Karen.
I can say that in my case, no, because I never went to the school. Just I have a contact with students, synchronous and asynchronous classes. So I cannot say that I use hybrid or flip.
Very good. Excellent. Professor Ho is raising her hand. Go ahead, Professor Ho. You wanted to say something?
Well, I will say that these 2 years, or for us 3 years, was of an experience. And there was no way that we could teach unless we use any of those ways of teaching. We have really to rely on technology a lot. And there was a technology where we can see the students face to face virtually, as we are doing right now. And others were using different types of platforms. But I will say that we did. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I don't know if I understood you, understood what you said very well. So you're saying that we did use, or you did use, blended learning model, split model, or hybrid. Is that what you're saying, or you didn't? I'm talking
Yes,
about.
I will say that that we use.
That we
I
did.
think that we use, even though we did not see them
okay.
face to face in the classroom, but there were platforms where you will see the students face to face virtually, as we are doing right now.
Very interesting answer, Professor Ho. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Good morning. Very interesting. Good morning. Do we have any comments on Professor Ho's perception?
Well, I would say that we use the hybrid because we were seeing them, but through the computer.
Interesting. So we did use the hybrid learning model.
I feel because in the 2020 in the high schools, we were seeing the students, but we were seeing them through the computer, and then we could see them, but we weren't actually in the classes.
Okay. All right. So you agree with Professor Ho?
Yeah.
Mr. Karen says, no, we didn't, but you said, yes, we did, at least the hybrid learning model, because even though we did not see the students, we used platforms and so forth. Very interesting. Any other comment? Any other perception about the question I just, or about the answer? Okay, that's exactly
What I
why.
said, okay,
Uh-huh.
I
Imelda.
agree also with Professor Hobb that we did use blended learning, which also known as hybrid learning too, because in one way or another, we were able to see our students. We provide students with classes, but we also see them face to face from time to time. So I agree with that.
Okay. When you say you saw them face to face, it means that you did have the opportunity to go to a classroom, or you're talking about virtually
No,
virtual
virtual.
classroom?
I mean, using like Google Classroom, like Google
Okay.
Meet, or I mean, Microsoft Team, or even Zoom, we were able to see the students, even though we don't work in class, in traditional
Okay.
classes,
I
but we
see.
were able to see them.
Okay. All right. Very
And
interesting.
also, I mean, because even though you were not able, we were not able to be in a traditional classes, we were able to know what was going on with some of our students. I
Okay.
mean, we use it.
Okay. Very good. Interesting. Thank you for your comments, Enelda, I'm sorry, teacher Enelda. Any other comments?
I don't know if I understood well the,
Lucy, go
the
ahead.
question because I was late, but before this pandemic, I had the opportunity with a class of methodology, it's research methodology, to use the Google Docs in classroom in the lab, and we were writing, and I was able to check everybody's documents, and also we played with videos. We were finding information in the internet and sharing it in a projector. So we were kind of practicing for this situation, not with
Okay.
intention, as you said yesterday, not with intention and calling it blended learning, but yes, using technology for them to work at home and have their work at university when they were in the lab. So they were in a continuous working of a document, and I could see the progress of the document in my computer. I don't know
Okay.
if that was.
All right. Thank you, teacher Lucy, for your comments. So some of you have said, no, what happened in the year 2020 was not a blended class, or we didn't apply the blended learning model for those classes because we were not able to go to the classroom. And some others have said, yes, because still, even though we were not able to go to the classrooms, we were able to see our students using platforms, right? We can summarize your comments like that. Okay, that's exactly why I asked this question. And that's why I said yesterday, yes, we're going to have many options of learning models and many, let's say, modes of learning or of teaching. But at the end, there are specific characteristics that distinguish one from another. We mentioned yesterday that one of the characteristics that these learning models that we discussed yesterday have in common is that they do include face-to-face classes. It means the professor is in a classroom with the student. Okay, so just to make it clear, the learning models we discussed yesterday include having face-to-face classes, not for the computer, but like the students can be sitting in front, in this classroom, and they can see the professors in front of them when they're talking, and also online instruction using technology and computers. So your question will be, well, Beatriz, if we did not have face-to-face classes during the year 2020, so how do you call that type of instruction? Because we did see our students. I mean, we use Zoom or Jitsi Meet or Google Meet, but we saw our students. And remember, the same as we have these type of learning models that include face-to-face classes and online instruction, we also have a classification for classes that only happen through technology, through the use of platform or no platform at all, and through the use of, yes, platforms like Zoom or Google Classroom and so forth. So what happened in the year 2020 if we did not go to a face-to-face classroom, a face-to-face class, I'm sorry, was not blended or a hybrid or a flipped. You had two types of instruction at that moment. You had virtual and online. Virtual, where you do need a platform, of course, to communicate with your students, but it's asynchronous. It means that you're going to upload the information and the students will use their own time and speed and pace to get into that. Of course, they're going to include due dates for the assignment, but it doesn't happen in real time. That is virtual education. And you do need a computer, you need the internet, you need to have access to the internet, of course, and you need a device to connect. That's virtual education. And some of you, or some of us maybe had the experience of, as you mentioned before, seeing our students through a screen, right? That is called online instruction. And it happens in a synchronous way. It happens in real time. For this, you also need internet access. You need the use of a platform to see your students and communicate with them. So at the end, what happened in the year 2020 did not include face-to-face classes. For that reason, we cannot say it was a blended, flipped, or hybrid model used there. Okay, but there is a classification. Actually, we have virtual classes. Some of you did have them in the year 2020. A combination of virtual and online that sometimes you will see your students. I know some professors will see their students for every single class they had to connect. If the classes were on Mondays, well, I'm talking about the university level at this moment. If you had classes on Mondays and Thursdays, the students had to connect at that time to have the class with the teachers, just through the use of a computer and a platform. And some professors will combine synchronous instruction with virtual instruction. It means that they will assign tasks for the students, but not to be done at the moment. They will give them some time to the student to work on it throughout the week or throughout a specific period of time. But not only that, remember that besides those two types of instruction, virtual and online, there were students in our high schools, in our schools, in elementary school, who lived in remote areas or did not have devices or internet access. So what did Meduca do? They sent teachers with booklets, remember, or notebooks or copies to their houses so they could provide information and material to the student. That was not virtual. That was not online. That was called, how do you call that? That type of education. That you don't have a platform, you don't have internet access. But in the case of Panama, I'm talking about the year 2020, 2021, when Meduca said we do having classes again. We do have classes again. Teachers will take, I'm talking about maybe remote areas, teachers will take the booklets with information to the different houses, the different students' houses. How do we call that type of education? Who knows? And that also happened here in Panama in the year 2020 and 2021. Who knows?
Distance learning.
Very good. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, Rosalba. So that's why I, I asked the question with intention, because I said, I don't want you to get confused with the term. I repeat, the three learning models that we discussed yesterday have a specific, let's say, a characteristic that they share in common. It's a combination of face-to-face classes. It means, as I always tell my students, that we're used to, to be sitting in the chair and having our teacher, right in front of us speaking, and we can feel their saliva falling on our heads because we like to have them very close. So we do need a face-to-face class, going to university, going to a facility, plus a combination with online. So I just wanted to make this clear and not to get the concepts confused. At the end, as I said, it doesn't matter if you know how to label one from the to distinguish one from the other with labels, with names. The important thing here is that you know what you're doing, your goals, and what you're going to use to achieve your the learning goals with the students. That's all. Okay, very good. All right. So with that said, we're going to start with the topic for today, which is creating a class in Google Classroom and adding students. And for this, I'm going to ask you for a huge favor, because I can tell, I know that there are some participants in this seminar who are very extremely skilled in technology. So for them, maybe this presentation will be just a review of what they already know, right? But at the same time, there are some participants who maybe have not had the experience of interacting with this type of platform up to now, or they know very little about Google Classroom. So I am going to pretend that you don't know about Google Classroom on how to create a class in Google Classroom, and I'm going to explain step by step how you do it and how you add or how you invite students to join the class. For that reason, I'm going to do what I usually do in the classroom with my students, and I'm sure that many of you also do when you spot or identify students who are very advanced in the topic that you're going to teach. You ask them to become assistants. You ask them to become your helpers in the group work, and that's exactly what I'm going to ask you to do. For the students, I'm sorry, for the participants or colleagues who are very skilled in technology or who already know about how to create a classroom in Google Classroom, I want to ask you to become a helper and assistant so the rest of the group or the other colleagues can learn and experience how to do it. I will really appreciate it. Okay, very good. So let's get started. How do we create a class in Google Classroom? We already explained yesterday why Google Classroom. Professor Corvina also talked about blended learning model and how to apply and so forth. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to classroom.google.com and you're going to sign in with your Google account. Remember, we mentioned yesterday that as long as you have a Gmail account, you are set to use Google Classroom, and it's also a free source, right? If you are a Google app for educators users, you click I am a teacher. But I'm not going to get into that because that's something else. But just in case you are an advanced participant, advanced person in this, you know how to do it. So I'm showing you there the picture of where to type uh, classroom.google.com. And then you're going to sign in. Okay, after that, you're going to see this on your screen because I already have some Google Classroom classes here. I'm going to see them on screen. But if you don't have any, you're going to see everything blank. Then on the right side of the screen, you're going to see a plus sign. You're going to click on the plus sign and you're going to see this scroll down menu. You're going to see join class and create class. You're going to click on create class because it's the first time you're going to create a class. Okay. Then this is going to be displayed. And here you're going to write all the information that you need to label or to identify your class. And so the students also will be able to identify the class. Usually where it says class name, you're going to write the name of the class, the name of the course. You're going to choose the name with which you want to distinguish the class from the others, or the name that students are going to use to identify the class. Then you have the section, subject, and room. These are optional. I mean, you don't have to actually type anything here. But if you do, if you write class name, that's where you're going to see for the presentation, as you can see here in the back where it says translation methodology. And then where it says subject is what you're going to see here. In this case, it says master degree program. So you can write the name of the class, section, subject, and room. But what you're going to see as the presentation of the class is only the name and the subject. When you fill in all these spaces or the ones that are required, which is class name, you are going to click where it says create. At this moment, it doesn't look, it looks blurred because I haven't typed anything here, but once you type something here, this button gets activated to call it away. You can see it and you click there on create. With that, you are going to see then this on your screen. You have already created the class. In this case, I'm just using an example, conversation, and then put there English for ADB. You are going to see the class code on the left side of the screen. And here on the right side, because Google is going to choose like an image for you. It automatically happens. Okay, but you can change this. If you don't want a cup of tea with a cup or whatever, or the milk, you go to customize, and there you can choose other images. Also, you can choose images from the internet or images that you have saved in your computer, and you can change it and put it there just to distinguish your class, to make it more attractive, or to choose an image that is more related to the class. Okay. I know, as I said before, that there are some students who are skilled. So when it comes to time to present how you created your class, I would like to see very nice images here. Not only what Google Classroom offers, but you can choose something else. It will be nice to see it. Okay. So this is what happened so far. This is my class. It's already created. I wrote conversation. I wrote English for 480B. The class code is here. I decided to leave it like this, but as I said before, you can customize it. This is how it looks in my computer. Not necessarily looks like this in some other computers, but again, you're going to see a tab where it will show you where to go if you want to change the image. Okay, very good. All right, so I have created my class. I decided to leave this image up to now. I have my class code, and then I'm going to go for information to add my students to the class or to invite them to join the class. So for that, I'm going to go to this icon here. It looks like a nut. You click there. That's what we call class settings. And here you are going to see, if you scroll down, you're going to go all the way to where it says general. Here you're going to see invite link, which is another way in which you can invite your students to join the class. You also have the class code. And if you want them, for example, if you're using a platform to share with them the class code at the moment, you can go to where it says class view. You click on display class code, and you're going to see the class code in big numbers and letters. Okay, like a high definition view. So with this, you already have the information to add or to invite your students. You have the invite link. You also have the class code, and you can use the invite link to also invite your students through an email. So you can use an email invitation, you can use a class code, or you can use a class link. Those are three options for the student. I personally prefer the class code because they just look at it and they type it in, but that's your preference. You decide how you want to do it. Some professors prefer to send an email invitation. That's fine too. Okay, so I already created my class. I already have the information I need to provide to my students so they can join the class. And now I'm going to invite them. For that, I go to the top. Remember that if you notice, I didn't mention it before, I'm sorry. But once you create a class, you're going to have four titles, they say on top: stream, classwork, people, and grade, right? And we're going to see them all of them throughout the seminar. So you go to people this time, you click there, and you're going to see this displayed. Teacher, in this case, my name, because I was the one who created the class, and students. So what I do is that I click on this, I go to students, and I click on this icon over here. Oh, sorry, give me a second. Okay, very good. So, oh, I'm sorry, just cover this here. As I said before, you can use an email invitation, or you can use a link, and you can also share the class with another teacher. And I would like you to do that if possible for this seminar. The difference between you who created the class and the other teacher is that the other teacher can do whatever he or she wants to, like to assign, change things. The only thing the added teacher cannot do is to eliminate the class. The other teacher the only person who can eliminate the only person who can eliminate the class is the one who created the class. In this case, me. But let's suppose that I invite Briseda to be also a teacher for this class, and we're going to share the same class in Google Classroom. She can also edit, she can also add, but she cannot eliminate the class. Okay. Very good. So when you click on the students icon, there you can use the link to add them. And with that, as I said, you have the class and you have one way to invite your students. Now we're going to see how students use the code to join the class. Remember, I was talking as a teacher. Some of you in the group are going to be the teachers, one or two. The rest of the members of the group, because I think there are 5 in each group, are going to be the students. So you can experience how to join the class and so forth. So let's suppose that now we are in the student mode, the student version. What the student does, well, goes exactly to the same thing on Chrome. Classroom.google.com. They will see there this screen, and they will click where it says join class, because it's not the teacher anymore creating anything, it's the student joining a class. Oh, I'm sorry, they have to click on the plus icon here, the plus side, and then you scroll down, will be displayed, and the student will click on join class. And there, they're going to see this where they're going to be asked to type the class code. We already know how to get the class code. So at this moment, the teacher or the instructor is going to provide the class code to the students so they can type it in. Once they type the class code, they are going to click where it says join. It will activate once you type there the class code. Oops, sorry. And with that, the students will join the class. So 3 options to join the class: class code, class link, email invitation. Okay. As I told you, it was going to be very short, very brief, but I'm pretending that you don't know how to do it. So I'm going to ask the very skilled participants to help the others in case they have to, and to give them the opportunity to experience it. So with this, it will be the moment to go to breakout rooms. What I want you to do is that I want you to create a class with 1 or 2 instructions. Since you are 5, it would be nice to have 2 instructions, so you have the experience of sharing a classroom with another teacher, because that will be very helpful. For example, if I'm teaching conversation and also Carmen is teaching conversation or Carmen is teaching conversation, we can actually share the information, right? And then you're going to invite students to join the class. That will be the rest of the members of the group. So since you are 5, you're going to have 2 instructors and 3 students. We're going to pretend you're going to be students. Okay. We're going to take from 15 to 20 minutes. And after that, you're going to share your classroom, your new class in Google Classroom with the rest of the participants in the seminar. As I said, take advantage of the students or your classmates who are very skilled, and try to present something very nice, at least for the image that is going to represent, it's going to be shown for the class. Any questions or comments about what you're going to do now? Hello, are you there? Breezy is raising her hand.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are, teacher. Very clear.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so,
we're here.
okay, perfect. So thank you very much for your attention. I'm going to stop sharing here. And Joel, will be your turn to, I don't know.
How much time do we need?
I would say it's 8:30. I would say that from 15 to 20 minutes will be good.
Okay.
If I have a question, Professor Tinoco.
Yes, Suri, go ahead. Yes, teacher, go ahead.
Okay.
You have a question?
Maybe I missed, but that part, because I have connectivity issue, but I couldn't see how you place your picture on the, I couldn't see that part.
Okay, give
How
me
you
a
place
second.
the picture in the classroom, because
Okay,
that's something that always I have to remember. I forgot.
that's okay. That's okay. It happens. I know. Let me share again. Give me a second. Give me a second here. As I said, once you create your class, are my slides going forward or backwards? Is it moving? No? Give me a second. I'm in the wrong place. Give me a second. Just one moment. Suri, what happens is that once you create a class, Google Classroom will automatically set an image for you, but you can change it. Let me show you the picture. I didn't show it because I don't trust the internet for this type of presentations, because something happens and you cannot actually share it. So I just use screenshots, but once you go to the group assignment, you will have the opportunity to see it. Let me go to the slide that I need. Here we go.
I have a question. No, I don't mean the picture and the font of the. I mean your picture. How do you play your picture?
Oh,
as a
you mean
teacher?
here? Oh,
Yeah, that little.
okay. Well, there are 3 dots over here. Well, I don't have any pictures for that. But you go to, I think, to the, Rudy, can you imagine that I just forgot? I think you go to the 3 dots here and it says like, it says profile, where your profile is. And there is an option in which you can upload a picture of you in your profile. If someone can help me with that, I think there are the 3 dots over here. Since I did it, I already forgot. But I think there are the 3 dots here and it says profile. You go there and it's a scroll down menu and you choose there like insert or something like that. Insert or upload your picture, something like that. I'm not
Okay,
sure what I'm going to say.
thank you. It's in
Yes.
the profile. Thank you. I forgot that,
Yeah.
so many.
Yes. Once you do it, you forget about it. I know.
Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you
You're
for
very
refreshing.
welcome. Any other
Yeah.
question or
Beatriz,
comment? Yes,
I have a question. Sorry.
Marta. Yes, teacher, go ahead.
Thank you. About the class code, could you please explain it again? Because how you play the class code, what in that place, what you place in the class code? Means, but
You mean as
because,
a
for
student?
example,
You mean as a student or as
no,
a teacher? Oh, okay.
no.
Let me repeat that part real quick. Don't worry.
Okay,
I'll go
thank
back to
you,
that.
thank
I'll go
you,
back to
thank
that.
you, thank you.
Okay, remember that you go to Chrome and you type classroom.google.com and you're going to see this on your screen. If you already have classes in Google Classroom, like my case, you're going to see all your classes here, okay? Then you go to the plus icon that you see on the right side of the screen, you click there, and you're going to have this scroll down menu displayed. You're going to click on create class. Once you click there, you're going to put all the information that you need. Remember that the only information required is the class name. Then you click on create. When you do that, you are going to see on your screen automatically the class created, and Google Classroom will give you or provide the class code. It's right here. You don't have to invent it. You don't have to create it. Google Classroom will give it to you right away. Once you create the class.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Very good. Any other question or comment?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, very good. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Okay, so my assistants in the class, please help your teacher, help teacher Beatriz, help your classmates, in this case, your colleagues, so they can experience how to create a class and how to get information to invite students to join the class. Any other question or comment? Breezy?
Yes, good morning, teacher. I have a question because this is my first time using Google Classroom.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I already created the La Sala that when you were talking, I was trying to do all this steps that I don't forget anything, but I need to know if this classroom is for the last presentation that we need to make.
Excellent question. Yes, remember yesterday, Professor Corina shared with you all the characteristics that your final presentation should have. Exactly, and we start from today by creating your class. So besides creating a class, you have to discuss with your group members, what are you going to teach? Like, what course are we going to teach for this? Because the intention is to apply it or to use it with a blended learning model. Not just only learning about Google Classroom. That's not the intention of this seminar. Is to use this platform as a tool to use the blended learning model. Excellent question, teacher. Excellent question.
And then all the things that needs to come in the Google Classroom needs to be about the final presentation. For example, the image, the topics, and everything that we need to put it there.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
So for
Thank
that,
you.
you need to. You're very welcome. So for that, you need to choose a topic. I'm sorry, a course or a class that you're going. I remember yesterday some professors were discussing about what courses could you teach with this type of learning model. Well, this is a moment to discuss. Is it good for conversation, for speaking? I'm sorry, for writing, for grammar, you discuss it and you start by creating your class. Excellent question, teacher. That's right. This is what you're going to use for the final presentation. Any other comment or question? No? All right then. Very good. Very good. Well, I'm going to stop sharing here. Thank you again for your attention, your active participation. And I think, Joel, now we're ready to go to the breakout rooms.
Perfect. You will join the link that says breakout room, and it's the same group as you were yesterday. All right. So if something happens with you that you do not have a group, please let me know, or let me know if you remember. That is what, according to my roster, how I tracked you yesterday. But sometimes people, log in or log out, and we miss the number, the names. So if something happens that you are not assigned to a group, let me know and I will send you to the group. Okay. So go ahead, join the breakout room. We have people here that need to join the breakout room. Please go where it says join breakout room and connect with your group, please. Hola, hola. Todavía tenemos, donde están los tres puntitos, sí, por favor, hay tres puntitos. Si usted está utilizando una tablet o un celular, hay tres puntitos después de participantes. Allí le va a hundir a esos tres puntitos y le va a aparecer unirse al salón. En los tres puntitos, dele clic a los tres puntitos.
Joel, remember, I'm going to continue because Beatriz had to leave.
Okay.
So I'm joining the breakout rooms now and checking on them, okay? Joel, they are not coming back.
Yes, they are coming back. Surely. All right. I think everybody's back, right? Perfectly. Okay, now we will continue with Professor Corina that will follow up on what you started with Professor Beatriz, okay?
Okay, thanks, Joel. So we're going to continue with what Professor Beatriz started. Okay, so as she said, we're expecting to see now your classrooms, and that you were able to check that every group was able to create the classroom and to add your colleagues into that classroom as students. Remember, at least one of you should be the teacher. You can have another teacher helping you to collaborate in that same classroom. And that's the same classroom you're going to use for the final presentation and the rest of the things, to call it what way, you're going to add to that classroom. Okay, so comments, questions, anybody that would like to start sharing? Just one question, Joel, is it possible for all of them to share the screen?
Corina, excuse me. I have a question. We just did it, create a class. That's it. That's it.
That's
Nothing
it.
else.
Right
Nothing
now,
else.
just create the class.
Okay.
Like give it your personal touch with the pictures and things like that. But that's okay. Just create the class and add your colleagues into that class.
Okay. Okay.
And it's only one classroom per group, okay?
One classroom per group. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Okay.
Okay. So if there is any other individual question, can we get started with the groups?
Hello,
We
Professor.
will need the group to share the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, Briseida.
They are allowed to share.
Yes, I'm not very expert. I would like if you could please help me to share. I'm here sharing, but then when I put, I have to select where the classroom, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I put
Joel,
share.
I think you have a bit more experience on that issue, okay?
Because I don't know why in my computer, it keep coming out like error. Like I cannot share the classroom.
You need You have to open Classroom first,
Yes,
right?
yes, I'm here. Mhm.
Then you go to share screen, the green icon at the bottom of Zoom page here. It says share screen. There is a green button or icon.
In the Zoom.
Here on Zoom.
Share screen.
And then you will select the window that you want to share.
Yeah, I'm selecting Google, not the Classroom. And then I put share, but it keeps coming out error. It says sharing has failed to start. Please try, and it keep coming out. I don't know if what I'm doing wrong.
That is a tech issue with the computer probably.
Oh,
Yeah, it's possible your device who is causing the problem. Okay.
Okay.
Can I share mine?
Sure. Let's get and then with the rest of the groups, and maybe another member of your group, Briseida, can try.
Yeah, thank you.
Her in the room. Okay. Okay.
Can
Yes. Let's go ahead
Okay,
with the
let's
other.
see, okay.
Who was it?
Pardon me.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Professor.
We created núcleo común.
Okay.
Núcleo común, and I was part of the teachers.
Okay. Perfect.
You could access to it. There is it.
Okay.
It's
Can we
okay?
see the people?
Okay, the people just a moment.
Yeah, that's the most important part. We're interested.
Here we have Tatiana as a teacher. My person as a teacher. And we have Marta Durati as a student. And we also have that teacher, and we have students from the group.
Okay, so if you can see, your students are not active yet. They need to accept the invitation. It seems you send them the invitation using the email, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need these two participants to accept the invitation so they are able to see and work with you in the following assignments.
Okay.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Tatiana is there. Tatiana.
Yeah, we have to send them the invitation.
Okay.
Okay, because this is a new group. We created one last night, Corina.
Oh.
Then we changed it this morning because Carmen was not in the meeting last night, and then we started again.
Okay, remember what you have for the final presentation, you don't need to do that in advance, okay? You will have some time during the seminar to work on that, okay? So you don't have to get to meet that late at night.
Okay.
Okay, so just relax a bit. Just we will have time now.
Thank you, Corina, because we were until 11.
Oh my goodness. Okay, the idea of posting the final invitation, the final presentation was precisely just for you to know what it's expected from you in the seminar. Not that you need to do that right away, okay? But great, you got it started. That's important thing. Thank you. Let's go with another group. Is there another group to share?
Oh, someone else is sharing.
Okay, here goes Adrian. Okay, very good. Okay, see, that's how you know they have accepted the invitation.
Okay.
Very good. That was group number 7, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Adrian. Do we have another group?
Yes, Professor, group 1. Lucy, can you share the screen?
Sure, wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Here. Zoom. Party. Okay, good. So this is our class here.
Nice.
It was created by Eileen Rodriguez. And can you see here the people? Like we're two teachers, Eileen Rodriguez and Lucy Chow. And then we have three students, Anthony, Gloria, and Karen. And I was I sent the invitation to Gloria FDO Gmail, and we're waiting for her to
accept the invitation. But wait a second, can you go back to the stream? Just for a second. See, she already tested there. She sent a comment. That means she is already in the group. Maybe you just need to reload the page to find her included there. But it seems she's already in the class.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Very good. Any comments? No,
Just
so far so good. Okay, good. Thank you. If there isn't any other comment from the group, that's okay. We can go maybe to group number 2. Enelda, Florencia, and Randy, are you ready to share your classroom?
I'm gonna show that one. Just
okay, thank you.
Okay.
Remember, this is the same classroom you are going to use throughout the seminar.
Let me see.
That's why it's important for us to check that everybody in the group has access to it.
I send the, let me go ahead.
It's sent.
Okay, let me go try to present now.
Okay.
Okay. Is basic. Okay, let me see. Short. How can I do? To share my
your screen.
Yeah, I know. Let me see, because when I try to open, I only see whatever scene I have on my Google on my Classroom. I mean, no Classroom. Let me check this one. Okay, share a screen. Okay. But when I try to share my screen, I only see, okay, I know, let me check this one. Okay. Let me know what's going on.
Okay, remember that you need to have your classroom open, and then
it's open, but I think I have too many scenes open.
But
I know it looks like
it will allow you to pick the one you want to share.
Okay, let me check again. Okay, see it. Is this one? No. It doesn't allow me to, because when I open, I try to share, it looks, I mean, whatever scene I have on my files, it shows only optimize video. It shows Word, the documents from Word, but when I try to show my the classroom, it doesn't allow me to do it.
It has to be the last thing you open. So if you switch to, for example, Word, as far as I understand, I'm not an expert in Zoom, but the last thing you click, you have it open, then you go directly into it. But right now I have a Osiris Villarreal trying to share. Then she won't allow you to share.
Sorry, I'm having a hard time with my laptop in order to share it. Let me go ahead and try to show what we have.
Okay.
This is our, can you see the screen? Okay, yes.
Yes.
This is our subject, communicative English, A1. And we choose this one because we have the opportunity to talk or provide any class that we decide.
Sí, es que yo lo hago, pero no me sale.
Or any other.
Professor
And-
Imelda, okay, thank you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right here is our classmates so far. They're still
Okay.
trying to get in the classroom. And right now we don't have any assignment or homework, as you can see. And that's all.
Okay, it looks good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You can customize it and give it your personal touch if you want to. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Thanks.
Okay, that was group number?
Number 3.
Two.
Number 3.
Number 3. Okay, there you go. There are more participants there, right?
Yes, we have Suri, Karen, Javier, Indira, Rafael, and I. We are 6.
Okay. Fine, just make sure you share the code with all of them. Okay, we have another group here. Oh, that's yours, Enelda. Is that right? Okay, nice. That's the personal touch.
Yeah, that looks cute.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, very good. Can we see the people? Okay, so that means there are more students to join. How did you
Okay,
get?
Francia, we have Francia, but also we have a profesora Leojín, la profesora Suri, la profesora Florencia. They have just received the invitation, but they have not got into the classroom yet.
Okay, remember you can share the code as well.
Yeah, I shared with them the code already.
Let me check myself. Let me check. I will check it out. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, but this one, I was trying to get a gift, but it doesn't, it is a gift, but when I have it here in classroom, it doesn't work like a gift.
Yeah, that's right. As far as I know, it doesn't allow.
But sometimes it does. So what we need to do is try to check. Sometimes it takes time. So if we want a gift, it takes time because sometimes Google Classroom allows, sometimes it doesn't.
I think it has to do with the gift itself.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten any, well, I haven't tried even to.
And these letters, because in the way it looks like that, it was created through Cool Font.
Okay.
So then I pasted in the class name, so it looks like that. It can look like that.
But it looks good.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay. So thank you.
You're welcome. Very good.
You're welcome.
Let's move on. Just make sure that all your colleagues get into the Google Classroom you created. Okay, let's see. Can you stop sharing so we can go with another group?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Professor Corina, I wonder something here. I have my other group with Karen's team, but now I was invited to Florencia's team. Is it okay? Because now I show up in 2 different groups.
Yeah, I think Joel will have to check that because I have realized the same thing and seen people in more than one group.
Yeah, I work with Karen team and my group is the group number 3. So I work with them. It's okay to check Florencia, but I wasn't assigned.
No, you should be in only one group.
Professor, what happened is that we worked with yesterday group and we.
The thing is that, that at the beginning, yesterday we were working with Suri.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah, I came late in today and I was assigned a different group later and I was working with group number 2 yesterday and I ended up in a different group today. So I don't know if that could be like rearranged or something. I don't know how we're gonna do that.
Yeah, that's Joel's.
What happened here is that probably when I tracked then the groups, you were not in the Zoom, or you just were kicked out of Zoom, and now in my roster, I am adding you to a new group. But if you are not if you were assigned to a different group, you can join to the previous group that you were working yesterday and let me know, because when I track you here, probably when you joined again, you were not in the same group yesterday, because yesterday were assigned randomly.
Okay, no problem, but that's just a little comment toward the.
You need to decide which one you're
matter.
gonna stay, Suri.
Yeah, the end won't matter. Just that I saw many of us in two different groups. That's just the comment.
Sorry for interrupt you. The same happened with me because I'm using my cell phone at the same time on my laptop. So, but I'm right now with Professor Suri in the group. But I don't know. I'm not sure which is my what is my other group. Okay, but the thing is that I'm with Professor Suri, group number 3.
Okay.
I committed a mistake and I joined to the other group too with my cell phone, but I was in a computer. So that's the way. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Joel, can we do the following? Like everybody who is in 2 groups could be.
Yes, please
use
send
the
me a
chat.
private message to check it.
Yeah,
check that.
send Joel a private message and tell him, oh, I'm going to stay in room 4 or I'm going to stay in room
Yes.
5. Okay, so we can solve the issue. Is that okay?
Yes, that's okay, but I have another concern, because if we have like, okay, yesterday we only were 3 together to be working, but now we were 6. So we also need to know who are going to join us and how we supposed to know that. Okay, so
if you are 6 now, were you together in the same groups working?
Yes, but we have 3 other partners in the group today.
Yes, it's because we cannot have group of 3, and once they were joining in, we were adding to the people with groups with few people. So that's why groups will be bigger now. So
Okay,
you have to add them to your group.
Okay, but in that case, we just need to know who are going to join us and who are going to stay with their first team.
The people that were with you in the group few minutes before is your group. Did you work with them?
Just today, yesterday, they were with other groups.
Yes, let's keep them in your group.
Okay, thank you.
Joel.
Yes, send me a private message here on Zoom, then I can fix that, okay?
You were saying that we shouldn't have groups of 3, but my group from yesterday, we are only 3. That's what I told you.
Joel, I have a humble opinion. Joel and Corinne, I have a humble opinion. Why don't we just start from today on? Because the group worked at the classrooms today. Yesterday was like a warm-up. And let's keep our group from today and let's move on. That's my opinion.
No, but all the groups are great. Just few groups are those with challenges with people that were coming late, and then that's why they were not in the roster and they were added to the groups. If there is any challenge with the groups, let me know and we can fix that. Send me a private message.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I suggested, that if you have any issues with your groups, just send a private message to Joel. Use the chat so we can move on, okay? Don't worry about that. You will have the time today. We're going to have another breakout room and there we can continue fixing this issue. Okay. So let's see, are we missing any other group presenting? I guess I haven't seen some of your classrooms.
Here, Professor, group to 6.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, here is our groups.
Oh, very good.
And we divide in two professor and two students.
Awesome. Okay, so are these all the members of your group?
Yeah, we were just four members.
Okay, perfect. How did I join? Did you send in a link or did you use a code?
Yeah, I sent the link and also I share with them these codes.
Okay, so you did both. Okay,
And
perfect.
with the professor, I send it by, invitation directly to their mails.
Very good. Thank you. So I appreciate those who know how to work on Google Classroom. As Professor Beatriz was saying, give your colleagues a hand so they can also learn how to work it. It's a pretty friendly platform. Any other group? Thanks, Professor Adiel. Let's move on. We already had Briseida's group, right? Adrian's group.
A group of Adrian Mendoza, group number 5. I have come in because I have problem with the internet, but we did it. We created the class and the group.
Yeah, Professor Adrian chaired the classroom. I think I haven't seen is Professor Osiris group. Did I say it?
Yes, Professor. No,
Oh,
group
okay.
number 3.
Oh, yeah, I just find it. Okay, very good. Then we are all set concerning the groups. It's 9:30 and we're going to get into other kind of things that we can do in Google Classroom. So I will suggest if we can have the break now and then get started with the rest. So Joel has some time to fix the issues with the groups. Is that okay, Joel?
Perfect, perfect.
Okay,
Yes.
so let's do that. Let's take a 15 minutes break and then we will continue. Okay, I think we are ready to continue. Good morning. So
Yes.
any comments, anything you need to say before I get started, Joel?
No, we just share here on the chat box the attendance link for you to register. It says formulario de asistencia. You have to complete that every single day with your information. Is here in the chat box. There are people that they do not they have not been added to groups because once we send them to groups, they did not join, and we have been sending private messages and they do not respond. We want to know if they are here connected or if they are spirits, because we don't know if they exist. So we really appreciate that if you are here, please try to be connected because this is how it works. This has many activities where you need to be interacting and you need to be there, okay? So we really appreciate your contribution on this thing. Another information here is that do not forget to use your full name once you join Zoom. That is very important for our records. Okay, so go ahead, Professor Corina. Thank you.
Okay, very good. So let's continue with Google Classroom this time. Now getting them into assignments, material, and pose. Okay. Let's start with a short quote. Tech gives the quietest student a voice. I think we all agree and we all have had students, as I was saying yesterday, that are very shy. And sometimes these platforms or learning management systems allow them to ask questions, to make comments when they're actually they don't feel that comfortable to do in the classroom. Okay, so using technology that helps them, it's something that we need to take into account when deciding which platform to use and how to use it. Any comments? Okay. Okay, so we're going to get into the material. For some of you, this might be new if you're not familiar with Google Classroom. But we also have a lot of colleagues here that are really great using Google Classroom. I'm gonna share with you this morning how I use it, or what I know about Google Classroom. I'm not an expert really, because I know what to do, what I need to do. That's the way that I work. Any platform I use, I know what I need. If you do it in some other way, or if you have learned any better way of using it, you are free to share with us as well. Okay. Okay, so concerning, let me go back. Concerning material, when you create a material, you can organize that material in different ways, right? You can decide if your material is going to be displayed in the Google Classroom as units, as modules, as chapters. These need to be organized so when students get into the Google Classroom, they can find whatever you're assigning in specific areas of the Google Classroom. Some students complain that when they're looking for the information posted earlier by the professor, they have to keep scrolling down, looking here and looking there in order to find it. But if you organize that, it's easier for them. Okay, we will take a quick look to that. Then it's important to give it a title, a clear title that matches what you're doing in the classroom. So if you're using it for blended learning, then if you are talking about unit 1 and you're adding, and if you're adding videos or links from other sources to support, to clear out the students' doubts in the platform, then you need to check that you're using the same title, the same topic you're discussing. Okay, remember then concerning material, you can attach from the drive, from YouTube, you can upload documents from Word or any other sources, and you can even use the link. And the ones I like the most is the ones where you create them yourself using Google. And I'll stop here just to say, if you are using Google Classroom, try to use all the Google resources. And it works a lot better when you do so. Okay, see, when you have a class that has several chapters, then it's better to create the topic of the content material as chapters. So when students get into the Google Classroom, this is what they're gonna see. The chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and so on. It's easier for them to find the information. Okay, but if instead you have like just a few modules, like 3 or 4 modules that with a lot of information within the modules, what you do is that you have module 1 and then add information, add the links, add the videos just to every specific module, right? It's easier for them again to find that information. Okay, it works better than then having module 1, module 2, module 3, but it's only when you have like, you're working just with the module and a lot of information within the modules. Okay, notice that you can add anything and you can create a module. Let me go back. If you notice here, I have different topics posted at different times. So you can create the module and you can be uploading or inserting material along the way. It doesn't have to be like you post the module and you have students are going to find everything. but they're going to find the information in the process concerning blended learning. Then it will be like we will have this topic in today's class. Then after the class, they can go and check in the Google Classroom what extra material they are going to get to understand the topic you are discussing in class. Okay. Okay, as I was saying, inserting videos, links within each module if you're working with modules. Okay. Before I get to anything further, what do you think? The material should be provided in the platform or should it also be printed? When should it be posted? Before or after the class? Are there any disadvantages? Yes, go ahead.
Before the class, of course, because then the student have the access to any kind of material. Yes, that way they can go ahead if they would like to do the material before the class. Yes, so I think that is better, and they can know what is the class about, what the subject about. They can interact. For those students who like to do that, because as you know, not all the students have the same thinking and feeling. So
yeah, that's absolutely right.
But sometimes I think we should be very careful with how we post it, because in my experience, sometimes when you post everything from the beginning, certain students start developing the material without the explanations, and then they make a lot of mistakes. So maybe we could do it little by little, I think.
Yeah, it depends on your objective. And if we go back to yesterday's presentation, what Karen said applies more to the flipped classroom model, right? Where they have the material before, so they have some information, they get some ideas of what's going to happen in the classroom, and it might help them understand, maybe lower the anxiety level. You know, worry about what it's the professor going to explain if we're talking about a very hard subject. But what Briseida said, it's totally true as well, and it works for blended learning. They're going to find the material after you have explained. Consider that you're in face-to-face classes. You know, you have all types of students, and if students keep finding everything in the platform, they might tend to believe that they might not need to be in the classroom. So that's why it's important to have it very clear. Okay, are there any disadvantages of sharing it in the platform? What do you think? Or is it all positive?
Hello, as you mentioned, Corina, students can be absent because they prefer to stay at home in order to stay in the classroom. For that reason, I prefer to present the material little by little in order to students exchange opinion and interact with them in the classroom.
Absolutely, thanks, Juvenal. And in fact, when you have it in the platform, be careful to decide how you're going to use it, because if you're going to use it in a blended learning type where the material is to support the information, maybe the material you have in the platform is not the same one you are presented in the classroom. It's just specific topics or ideas within a topic that you want to reinforce in the platform. But anyway, the rules must be set from the very beginning. Any comments, any questions, any concerns? Okay.
I would like, Corina, I would just like to comment that when I posted material, I do it in an outline form. So they just can find, follow the dots and then maybe expand the information.
Okay, that's a great idea. Thanks for sharing, Professor. Okay, so that's the beauty of sharing in this seminar. Okay, now we're gonna get into assignments. As you can see, the assignments have more or less the same format as the material. You can do the same thing, except that there are other things, other resources, other tools that you can find when you create an assignment. But it's very important anyway to have, to give it a title and to, so that students can follow what's going on. Like, for example, I usually use numbers, assignment number 1, assignment number 2, assignment number 3, so they can keep track of what's going on, right? And when I attach, I prefer to use the Drive or the Google Doc, which is my favorite one to have students work, because as I think it was Professor Lucy was saying, when you share the Google Doc, you're able to see what their students are, what the students are working on in the precise moment they're doing it. Okay, so let's get here. When we work on assignments, as I was saying, you can attach any of this and you find it right there. You just click on create an assignment and you have all these resources to attach it. And some of the good things about Google Classroom is that if you click on the green arrow here where you assign it, you can even schedule it and decide if you want to, you work on the assignment the previous day, you can schedule when they are going to see the assignment, when you want that assignment to be posted. That is definitely a pretty good tool just in case you have any internet issues. Concerning group work, we were talking about blended learning and the good thing about using a platform to collaborate, right? So in Google Classroom, you can create your group works. What you can do is you create the assignment in the Drive in Google Doc. Then instead of assigning it to all the students, you select the students you are going to assign that group work. Okay, and then you simply attach the assignment from the Google Drive. Here, you select that the students can edit the file. That way, all the students in the group will be able to edit that file. Now, the thing is that once you have done it with this number of students that you decided to include in the group, then you will have to do the process again and again until you have inserted all the students in a group. That might take time. I really don't use this one nowadays. What I do nowadays to make it simple for me and to give the students the opportunity to pick the people they want to work with. I just create the regular assignment, assign it to all the students, and I make a copy, right? In the previous slide, I think you were able to see the arrow here. So instead of deciding on giving them the permission to edit the file, I make a copy for each one of them. And then after I have made that copy and assigned this assignment, what I do is I ask the students to decide which people they want to work with, right? They are more comfortable. Once they have decided who they want to work with, I ask them to click on the blue tab at the top where it says share, as in most of the Google Docs, Google Slides, and others. Just add the email of their classmates they want to work with, and then click on done. When they do that, all those students are added to that assignment. And the good thing is that I am able to see what every single student is doing in that assignment or project, if that's what you're working with. So what you do is that you go to File, you click on Version History, and select See Version History. I repeat again. You click on File in the assignment, you get into the student's assignment, you click on File, you look for Version History, and then you click on See Version History. When you do that, this is what you're gonna see. Every single student that work in that precise assignment is identified by a color. Okay, so you can see one is purple, the other one is green, the other one is orange. What that student work in that assignment is then highlighted on that color. See, everything that is green, it was done by that student, and everything that was orange was done by that student. So you can clearly see what was who was really collaborating in the assignment, who was not, what each student did in that assignment. So it's a good way to keep track of students' work. Questions, comments, concerns? Which of the two ways would you prefer to use?
Can you repeat the way that they connect or share with the classmates themselves, that part?
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, here we are. So you assign it. They open the practice that you assign. Then you click on shared on the blue tab at the top of the Google Doc, right? When they click there, then this screen pops up. Right there, they are going to, they are going to copy the email of their class, of the classmate they want to work with. Okay, classmate or classmates. Once they do that, wait, remember they need to have editing permission, right? So everybody can work. Then they click on done. Is that your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. You haven't answered my question. Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer to use this one where they decide who to work with, or do you prefer to assign the groups?
Corina, excuse me. Could you please explain it again? When you assign a student, okay? And then what happened? How do you know this? How do you notice that the student is sharing, is working with the other classmates? How do you make that, please?
Okay, sure, Marta. Now, you create your assignment as you usually do, okay? You create your assignment, you create your Google Doc. That's very important. You need to create your Google Doc. It has to be in a Google Doc. It won't work if you just upload a Word document, okay? So you make a copy for each student, and then you simply assign. That's the regular process most of you are familiar with, okay? Then you are not going to do anything else, Marta. This is the student. This is what they're going to do. If they want to work alone, they won't do this. But if they want to work with one of your classmates or two of your classmates, depending on your instructions, they simply open the assignment. They get into the assignment, the Google Doc you provided, then they click on share. And once they click on share, this screen will pop up, and then they will type the email of the student, of course, the Gmail, that the student you want to work with. I mean, the student wants to work with. Check that they have editing permission, and then you click on done. I mean, the student clicks on done. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. And I think your question also had to do with this. For
Yeah.
you to check that your student or each student working the assignment, and it was not only one who did everything, then they click on, you click on file within, you're in the assignment, they were working together, right? They usually, I ask them to type their names in the assignment, so I know that assignment was working groups. Then you click on file on that same assignment, then you go to version history, and from version history, you can see the version, not the current version, but the version history. And then you will be able to see what each student contributed to the assignment. I really suggest you to try it. Okay, and now you're going to the breakout rooms in a while, and we're trying that today. You will have a little bit more of time in the breakout rooms because I wanted to try all the tools, that really good tools that we can find in Google Classroom. Okay, any other comments, any other concerns? It seems this feature has been pretty interesting to most of you. Comments?
Well,
concerns?
what we all have to do is practice.
That's right. That's why I don't want to, you know, stay too much time like presenting, but get into the breakout rooms so I can join and clear out doubts for you. That's precisely the idea. Okay. Okay, as well as we talk about in the, referring to the content, the assignments. You should be careful when you post it in the platform. Consider that you can schedule and decide when it would be posted from the day before, or days before, or even the week before, just in case. That's available also. You need to decide from the very beginning of your course what you are going to be blending. And if it is assignment, you should tell the students from the very beginning that they will be doing the assignments within the platform and not in the class. Okay, as everything, it has advantages and disadvantages. It all has to do with how you work on it. Can you think of any advantages or disadvantages? Posting assignments? Go ahead.
The main two disadvantages that I found is one that, number one is the problems using technology. Like, you know, students are very good at social network.
Right.
But when it comes to using a platform, an education platform like this, that it's very complete. Like, you are using not only the classroom platform, but Google Docs, Google Slides, and so on, Google Forms, and so on. That's like, they get confused, as we professors also get confused. So
right.
the assignment might not end up very well, because some students will claim they couldn't access the document, they couldn't write, professor, I have a problem. So seems that the professor needs really to practice a lot with this, so you can answer to those technological questions. And the second one is the connection problems again. Equipment and connection problems. Professora, I'm working in a cellular. Professora, I don't have internet in my neighborhood since last week, and so on. So those are the two problems I see. But if we are working in a blended learning situation, then we should have a lab at the school, at the
Agree.
so they can work in the lab.
Strongly agree, Lucy. And what you are saying is absolutely true. That's why if we go back to what blended learning implies, that's the first thing. Remember when we were reflecting on that yesterday, if you decide to use blended learning, one of the first things you need to check is your students. You need to talk to them and see if they actually have the devices, the internet access required. And if it is an assignment, like for example, that it's a group work, consider having it not to be like for tomorrow, like giving it a very short time. So giving enough time so everybody can get into the Google Doc, work on it at their time when they have access to internet. Because, you know, sometimes students and even ourselves, we say, hey, I have no problem. I have my computer, I have internet access. And I have to tell you, I have been really worried about this seminar because I'm afraid I might lose internet connection. And then I will have to continue this seminar on my phone, which is not the same thing. So the same thing happens to the students. So we need to keep that in mind. Thanks for your comments, Lucy. Is there anybody else with similar?
Okay, I have something that I would like to also talk about it, and that what I do is that I printed all the material, scheduling all the material or the 15 weeks that I'm going to work for the, all means that they have it, all the assignments, all the activities, scheduling until the last week, okay? And then they print it, they have to print it because they don't want to print it. They want just to see it virtually, online. But I also push them to print it because they don't want to print it because there's a lot of money. It is means that printed is money that we have to okay, and then I push them to print it. And then after a while, then I use the online virtually the posted, always posted print. They have to print and they have to see it online. Both ways. But it is difficult. It is difficult to obligate the students to print materials. They don't want to. They just want to use it and in fun, if they have fun, or on the computer. It's difficult.
Well, I have a comment.
Sure, Marisol, you can
yeah, last year I had in-person classes with one of the groups, and they didn't want to print the material. So what I did was I uploaded the material in my classroom, and all of the questions were printed. The questions were not in the classroom. So I had to force them to read. If they wanted them online, they had to read the material in order to answer the questions. And they had to answer the questions in the classroom so that they could see them working.
That's blended learning.
That's blended learning, yes, exactly.
Very good. So you're taking advantage of the platform as well, but you are getting your students to work on the printed material. And we all know why, right?
Yes, we all know why. So I mean, since they told me that they were graduating, they didn't want to spend money on print making copies. I said, well, this is what we are going to do. We are going to do blended learning. So that's what we did, and I mean, it worked well with them. they did good. Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a subtle way of doing it. Yeah, the thing is that we need to consider that if they have it just on the phone and they're going to work with that material in the classroom, and then all of a sudden the phone is not working, then what's going to happen? Then that would be another excuse.
Well,
So
yeah,
they
the thing
need
is
to
that
take responsibility for their
exactly.
own learning. So if they decide to use their phone, they have to be responsible. And if at the moment the phone is not working, then they will have to take responsibility and get the copy. But you have the resources available. That's the important thing. If they say A, you say B, and if they say C, then you come up with D. There is always a solution. Thanks for sharing, Marisol. I agree. That's a pretty good idea. Okay, anybody else? Okay, then we can move on. Okay, now we're gonna get into the post. We also need to be careful with what we post in the stream in the platform. The messages should be cleared. It always happens that there are 2 or 3 students that don't get what you're trying to explain. So they should be short, because messages or posts get complicated when you try to include like too much information. So be assertive, just write what you need them to know, as Professor Ho was talking about, having a bullet format, like an outline where they see number 1, number 2, number 3. It's always better than using an essay type of message. Okay, you can do assignments. You can attach, not assignments. You can have attachments. You can add videos, files, links, audios, and so on, and even images, as I did yesterday with the final presentation. Instead of having or type everything, you just add the complete image there. Okay, post can be reused. And by the way, this classroom was created in UP Digital. We have the paid version at the University of Panama. You need to request your email at UP Digital, UP Digital. Okay, and with that tool, having this paid version of Google Classroom, then as you can see, you even have the link to join the Meet. I'm not sure if it is still working. I couldn't get to use it. It's a lot better than having the free version. The thing is that you need the technical department, the IT department at the university to insert your students. They cannot join with the class code. Okay, and that's an issue, because you have students that join the class at the very beginning of the semester, and then all of a sudden new students are joining in to your class, and that is frustrating for me to be waiting for somebody else to upload my students. But yes, I just wanted to point out it's more or less the same thing. You just have a bit more of features to use. Okay, concerning the post, you can also schedule, you can also save draft, you can upload from the Google Drive or use at YouTube, or even a link can be inserted here. The post can be reused as well, and you can send audios here. This is the mode and extension in Chrome. I think I don't have that for today, but we will get into the mode later on. Okay, I just don't want to include that much of information as I usually do. Okay, so we will check on that. You can even send voice notes in every single feature or every single tool in Google Classroom. So I was saying you can reuse it, but you can also get into the class settings that Professor Beatriz was talking about earlier, where you can get the link to invite to your classroom. You can also work on the stream. Consider the following. If you're using blended learning and you're using it to help you in the classroom, and you just want them to use the platform to receive information from you, to receive material from you, and they are not allowed to post or send a homework when they were absent to class, because that's not the purpose you're using the classroom for, then you can use this here. You can decide if the students can post and comment, if they can only comment, or if it's only going to be you. Okay? That's important to keep in mind. Again, it depends on your objective, on what, how you're going to use the blended learning and the platform itself. Okay. Okay, when you reuse the post, you just click here in this icon, and all the classes that you have created in Google Classroom will pop up, and you can pick the post that you want to reuse. I'm not really a fan of reusing. For me, it takes me longer to look for older posts. But if you're having the same class, different classrooms with the same subject, with the same course, then that works pretty well. Okay. What kind of information should be announced in the platform? It depends on what you're going to blend. It depends what you're going to do. It's up to you, but you need to decide. Don't just make a mess, including all kind of information. If you have it for one purpose, keep it for that purpose. Okay. It should be posted, as we were saying, it depends, right? In which type of blended learning you decided to use. Okay, any comments, any questions? I really don't want to stay that much time here, so we can take advantage of the breakout rooms. Okay, so if you don't mind, I will continue. Okay, stop me whenever you feel like you need to. Okay, having everything in one place works always better than taking the students, hey, now you have to go here, like use straw poll for service, or you have to go get into this other platform for this other thing. That's really confusing. So a good thing about Google Classroom is that you can have your service, class participations, and class discussions in just one place. What you do is that you click on create, you select the question type, and if you want to have a survey with your students to decide when the presentations will start, when they will have an assignment, or anything you're working with, you select the multiple choice here in the type of question. As you can see, the options are displayed here, and then you give them the options for them to choose. And at the end, all of them, if you want, can see what were the results of the survey. This question feature can also be used when, I was talking to you at the beginning of it about the quiet students, how tech can give them a voice. So this is one of the features you can use for that. And instead of giving the multiple choice, you can pick the short answer. And then after the class, they say, okay, after every class, that's your blended, after every class, if you have any questions, any doubts about what I was trying to explain, please, you will find the question, you will have this space in the classroom for you to post your questions. And then next class, I will gladly discuss and explain or present more examples or whatever you need to do. So that's also possible. And even you can, if you look at the right corner, under the topic, you can decide if you're going to give the other students the option to reply to each other. So you can get your assistants, the smart students trying to help the struggling ones. Okay, so this is another way to use it. Okay, comments, questions, concerns?
Let's get to work.
Let's get to work. Okay, I'm a strong believer that it is really hard to learn how to do things just by listening. Okay, you need to do things in order to really know how to use, to really learn. Okay, so here's what I'm expecting you to do. Get into your breakout room. I hope the issue with who is in which group has been solved, and you're able to try to get the content material. If you are already familiar with Google Classroom, try anything new first that I have presented, if there is any. Okay, try to help your colleagues, but at the end, we need to see in your Google Classroom the content material, the assignment, try the group work, a post, and a question. Okay, these are the instructions. Take a screenshot if you need to. It's already, I think most of it's already in the final presentation. If you check, most of it's right there. Take notes if necessary, and let me know if you have any questions. I will be joining the groups to help any group that might have trouble working on this task.
One question, the term post, what do you mean with the term post? What do we have to do about?
Just a post, and then some of you already did. You post something in the classroom.
Okay, okay,
just
thank
to
you.
check that everybody knows how to use it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anybody else? If not, Joel, then we're ready to get into the breakout rooms.
Okay, let's do something differently and let's see to make it works, right? I'm going to create 8 rooms, right? And you have to join your group. If you are group 1, you join room 1. If you are group 2, join room 2, and like that, okay? Just to avoid this kind of, you know, I was in that group, in a different group, but I see people that they are here using 2 devices, right? If you happen to use 2 devices, please join the room with the 2 devices to avoid this kind of confusion, all right? I'm going to repeat again. You have to be here connected, right? And engaged in the class. I'm going to create 8 rooms, which means 8 groups. You are going to join the group, right? According to your room. If you have room 1, it means group 1, you just join there and you will be with the people that you know and that you have worked with and that are the real ones, okay? We keep track of that. That's how we did it yesterday. We keep track of that. If you happen to feel kicked out or be kicked out of Zoom, once you come back, please let us know, right? I am in group, whatever, and then I will send you there, okay, to avoid this. So let's recreate the rules. We are going to create.
So just sorry to interrupt. So in short, I will join the group that I was assigned yesterday,
Yes,
not the group that I
yes,
joined today.
Yes, perfect.
So even though today I joined a different group, I will be joining the group that I started working yesterday.
Yes.
All right. Okay, good. Thank you.
Professor Corina, how much time do they need?
Yeah, it's a pretty long activity, so I will say no less than 45 minutes.
Okay, 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
45 minutes to the turn. Let's check 45 minutes. Again, join the group that you belong to, okay?
Okay,
According
Joel,
to your...
if it happens that the groups need a bit more minutes, is it possible?
Yes.
Okay.
I can leave it open and you let me know when I close it.
Yeah, I think that works better.
Professor Corina.
Yep.
Do you want to upload this information today in Google Classroom?
Sure. In
Thank
fact,
you.
I'm going to upload it right away.
Thank you so much.
While you're joining the groups. Okay, I'll need to stop sharing, okay?
Activity is still trying to get into the laptop.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we
Yeah.
try.
I wish to be a volunteer, but right now I just waiting for the system to pop up on the laptop.
Okay, so you
As
can
soon as
try
I-
with another classmate that can help you with that and share the screen. Any of the participants working in group number 3, I think it was. No? Okay. Osiris, is it okay if we try with another group?
Yes, Professor.
While you check if you can, and check if another classmate, another participant
Yeah,
can
because
share
my
the
laptop
screen.
says return into the main section, so I guess I have to wait for. Let me see. Oh, I'm here. Allow me just one moment. Let me go ahead and share mine.
Okay, perfect.
I got it. Let me see.
But you have to access the room with your computer.
Mhm.
Okay.
There you are.
Yes. Okay. This is so far what we have until now. We have the material will be the visual communication. And this is a very short description of what is a visual communication, you know, like a ice breaking. I think we can do that like that, ice breaking. And probably here we can ask students, what do they know about visual communication, you know? And here is the time or the topic, which is social media apps, which is also a type of visual communication. We were trying to add a YouTube video, but we didn't have enough time because, as I mentioned, the stability of the Wi-Fi connection, Professor. But this is so far what we have. And then probably as a in-class assignment or practice, they can share ideas of what is a social media apps and mention some of them or how do they work with these social media networks.
Okay.
Yes, may I add something?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, something that I knew, I didn't know that before, and how to add a quote administrator of to the passion. Because sometimes we have issue connections and students get out of it and we get out of it. So we have to have a quote administrator so that the class can be going on. So we just learned that. And thank you, teacher Corina, for teaching us that particular part of the classroom.
Okay, great.
Yeah, because sometimes the student, you know, they can say, teacher, I couldn't finish because I have internet issues, or I didn't have internet. And sometimes, you know, we start thinking that if that is true or not, but we have the same situation sometimes, so we must believe them.
Okay, good. Can we see the classroom? Because we are sharing just the material.
Okay, yes, let me go ahead and send it.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're still going to have time during the afternoon to continue working in your classroom if you haven't finished. If you have finished, it's okay, you're set.
Yeah.
let's see, did you get to create an okay, is that an assignment or was just the material?
Just the material, Professor. So
Okay.
during the evening time, we can finish it.
Okay,
For
perfect.
the assignments in or out classroom assignments.
Okay, any questions, any concerns? We will still have time tomorrow at the beginning of our session to get into any questions. So if you try working on it and you run into any problem, you can let us know tomorrow morning. Okay.
Karina, I have a doubt.
Okay.
Yep, go ahead.
There is a section that says tema. What goes there? Because we have a topic already, but tema, what is that all about?
Okay, when you create it, I was talking about that, I know, pretty fast. When you create the material, thank you, Osiris. You are referring to the right? Osiris, can you please close that so we can all see right there. Okay, it's how you organize your classroom. So you create topics like assignments, and under assignments, you include all the assignments, like assignment number 1, assignment number 2. This is material. And I was saying earlier this morning that you can do like chapters. So you create a topic that is chapters, and then when you create the material, the title of the material will be chapter number 1, chapter number 2, chapter number 3, and so on. And all those will be included under the topic chapters.
Okay, so in this
classroom is
case,
organized. It's a way of organizing the classroom.
So in this case, just to make sure and confirm, as we have already as a social media app, okay, next time probably we can put like Instagram and so on, just in case that we want to, you know, to get more information.
So the topic is like the broad topic, right? I think you got it. So you have social media. Then this material that you're going to create here, the title will be Instagram material. But when you select the topic, you click on social media. So everything you create there is going to that broader topic.
Okay, so here will be social media, and then here
Instagram.
It will be Instagram. Yes, thank you.
You got it. Okay, very good. Thanks for your question. Any other question? Okay, good. Let's go to another group then. Can you stop sharing?
Can we present ours?
Sure, Renelda, go ahead. Okay. Oh, you got it to work. Very good. I have never thought about having a gift in right there. Okay, awesome. Go ahead, tell us. Is there anybody going to present your classroom?
Yes. I'm sorry. Now I'm sorry. I was speaking, but I didn't know. Okay, now we got it working. It's working now. Okay, so we have. I don't know if someone wants to speak, or I just go ahead and do it. Francia, Florencia.
Okay, we can. You can start and go ahead and so on.
Okay. Okay, so our topic is element of a short history. So for that, we're gonna start with a short, with a history of Goldilocks, and then we have it right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna present that to our students. That is like an opening for our class, and then after that, we create a short quiz or short question regarding to the Goldilocks, which is this one right here, that you are gonna be able to see. Let me see if you're gonna be able to see it.
Okay. We can see the live worksheets.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's working now. So this one, this is like, what is the main character? What are the supporting characters? What is the setting? What is the problem? And what is the solution? So those are, after the student watch the short history, they must be able to answer those questions. If not, we have also some other material right here. We have this one, which is a PDF that we are gonna also discuss with the students. And then after that, we discuss that with the students, we assign the students we provide the students an assignment. So the assignment, let me see. Okay, the assignment is this one right here. Look at the video attached to the assignment, then answer the questions in Google Form attached. Make sure your answers are written with complete sentence. Use the story of Guadalac when given example for each element. So a student must be able to answer these questions, but they should answer these questions back before they should also first look at the video that we have provided regarding to the.
Okay, I have a question. Are you considering this as a blended class or just an online class? Because for me, it seems to be like, it seems like you have everything included here and nothing is gonna happen in the classroom.
Okay.
That's what I'm asking.
The part that first we are beginning with the video of the story of Goldilocks, right? And we start with that. After that, the students answer based on what they just saw at the moment. After that part comes the teacher would have an oral explanation right there, enhancing the information that they have seen. After that, they will have another information based on, I was looking for it here, but I don't see it, based on another video where they are going to have more explanation about the elements of the short story.
Okay, I see that. It sounds good. It looks good. It looks pretty good. I'm just asking you to reflect on the blended learning.
Okay, sorry, Corina. The blended, the part where the students are going to be studying at home is the list or the elements of the short story that they are going to be having as an assignment at home, to study at home. And when they come back, that part will be reinforced by the teacher in the classroom.
Oh, okay. So actually they are going to watch the video in the classroom.
In the classroom.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Got it.
Thank you. Right. Very good.
And then the practice, they will be doing it in the classroom. There will be another one, reinforcing or enhancing the same information about the elements of the short story. Then the written information with the PDF that Enelda just mentioned, that will be another assignment, but at home. They will study at home. When they come back, the teacher in the classroom will reinforce the information about the elements of literature. Excuse me, yes, the elements of children literature.
Okay, it sounds good to me. Very good. Well done. Okay, is there anything you want to add? Anything else? Did you try the group work?
Not yet. We didn't try it yet.
Oh, you will still
that
have
would be another alternative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Today you're not going to have a Google form, an extra task for the afternoon. During the afternoon, we're expecting you guys to work a bit or finish whatever you were trying, or what you didn't get to do, you can do it then during the afternoon or the evening, whatever works better for you.
Okay. To
Okay.
include.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and whatever you didn't have the chance to do, like the group work, I'm really interested in seeing how you will work on that. Okay, very good. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, we're ready for another group. Is there any group ready to share? Let me check. What about, oh, okay. We have a group sharing. Number
Hello.
7, good.
So we are going to share what we did here is our grammar.
Okay.
Then
¿Qué es lo que yo iba a poner? Grammar, ¿ves?
Material, the material. We first we had the class, no? Then this is just for them to help them to review what we had done. Then we continue with the assignment. I want just to give some comments about the writing activity that you help us with the students that we could like work together. It was an excellent experience. However, I was thinking about with 45 students trying to help them to join, but it's interesting, no? But maybe
No, the thing is that what you do is that you create the assignment several times and you had 45 students. So you have groups of, for example, 6 students. You will be creating like 7 groups, right?
Okay.
So you have to create the assignment like 7 times. That's one way. And the other way is the other one I shared. This is where you create it for everybody and then they pick the people they are going to be working with.
Okay, I got the idea. Yes, through that is better.
Okay.
And then the forum.
I'm sorry for interrupting you again.
Tell me.
I wanted to show, I think earlier somebody was asking about the topic. That's how you work the topics. See, he created a topic for material. That means that students under that topic are going to find every single material they are going to post. You can decide the name you want to give to the topic, but it should be clear. When they get to the classroom, they get to see it like this. See, all the assignments together, all the material together. That's very important to keep your classroom organized. Well done, Adrian. Do you have any other thing to add?
No, that's it. And the other part is for surprise for the next presentation.
Surprise. Okay.
Yes, I wanted to add, just make sure you tell your students that you're not going to allow more than this number of students in the group.
Yeah,
otherwise
set the number of students. Yeah, up to 6, up to 7, up to 10. Otherwise, you will have groups of
12
and then groups of 20.
Yes.
Okay. Great observation. Thanks, Marisol. Okay. Let's see. I think we have time for another group. Let me see. Do we have a volunteer? I'll just pick a group randomly. Okay, let's see. I haven't seen group number 5. Is group number 5 ready? Comments, questions? Group number 4. Well, no, I don't know what happened. Group number. Let me check. Wait a second. Yeah, in group number 5, I can only see Jose and Rosalba. I guess that's Briseida's group, right?
Okay, group number 5 had an issue. They were divided into 2 groups because they had, I think they were 8 participants or 7. So they had to be divided. They were.
Okay. So let's go to group number 4 then. Carmen, Marta, and Tatiana.
Tatiana. Are you there, Tatiana?
Here.
Can you share, Tatiana?
Do you want me to share?
Yeah.
Okay.
We would love to see it.
We didn't finish. We need to polish it.
Of course, it's okay. You
Oh,
still have
this is
time.
not, this is not. Oh no, what's this? Sorry.
Or do you want me to do it?
Do it, Carmen.
Okay.
Okay.
So here we have, and here we have the welcome. We just introduced it. We have an English episode. Welcome to our class. Then we have our first topic, which is personal pronoun.
Okay.
Excuse me, Tatiana.
There is a video. There is a video there. You see?
Yeah, but we had the
I guess
outline
the
first.
link.
But we
Okay.
had the outline first, remember? Okay.
Yes.
Since this is a basic English, first we're gonna have with the student is personal pronoun. So we have a video which the students will look at online. Sorry, my internet is.
Yeah, it's slow.
Tatiana, remember I cannot.
Well, maybe I.
Let me stop on you. Go ahead. Go ahead, Tatiana, try to do it.
Well, I don't know where is the thing, because you were doing something there and I was doing something there, and maybe I.
But you just go to the núcleo común.
Núcleo común, let me see.
Go to núcleo común.
You were both working as teachers.
Yes. Yes.
That's the thing. That's the
Yes.
thing. You're both teachers and both are working at the same time.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well,
Okay, if you prefer, you can simply share your experience using the platform. Concerns or questions, if it is too complicated.
Okay, well, what I usually do with the platform, I have my syllabus, and the first thing that after the welcome, I present my syllabus to my student. In the syllabus, we have all the material that we're going to take care of during the first semester, second semester, and they can see the topics. After that, I break it down in module 1. For example, we were going to begin with the personal pronoun. Then I have personal pronoun. I have the video, which they're going to watch online and in advance. They're going to look at the video in advance at home. And when we come to the classroom, then we're going to have this explanation of the topic that we're going to take care of. Yeah. So we have explanation. We go through all the practices that we have with the personal pronoun. After that, we have an assignment on the platform where they have a worksheet. They're going to develop in order to see what they could what they know about personal pronoun. And that was the idea.
Okay, so that's exactly what you're trying to do now in this lesson, right? Okay, well, you will have the time to work on it, and we will be able to see it, not tomorrow, but at least on Friday, for sure.
For sure.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we're running out of time, Joel. Okay, so we won't have time for more presentations. Is there any question, any concern, something that you are worried about? Okay, as I was saying, we will check your questions tomorrow morning before starting the session. We will gladly answer any concerns if I know, because I don't know it all, but feel free usually the questions are, you will have the questions once you start working on it. While listening and looking, it doesn't work that way. So save those questions for tomorrow morning, and I appreciate your attention. I appreciate you giving it a try. And just try to reflect a bit on how Google Classroom can be used in a blended learning environment. Thank you very much for your attention, and looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a wonderful afternoon, and remember
All right. Thank you very much for joining today.
Bye. Thanks.
Have a
Bye.
wonderful
Happy
afternoon.
Valentine's Day.
Do not forget to complete the attendance form, okay? And happy Valentine's Day again.
Yeah,
Have a good day.
happy
Bye-bye.
Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's to all of you.